Hey fish people, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is extremely important in this hobby, especially for new time fish keepers. We don't want to lose too many people when this does not go properly. We are talking about how to cycle your tank. So when it comes to cycling a tank, there are a few different ways you can do this. Option 1 is the old school, old-timey method. You set the tank up, you get your filter running, whether it's a sponge filter, hang on back, canister, sump, whatever kind of filtration you want to use, under gravel if you want to go that route. Add fish food. Take whatever kind of fish food you want, whichever you got from the store. It can be as cheap as you want to make it. You take it, you throw a pinch of food in every few days. You let the water sit. And that's all you gotta do. Make sure you keep adding that food source in. What that food is gonna do, it's gonna break down. It's gonna create an ammonia source. That ammonia source is gonna allow for your beneficial bacteria to start growing. Your nitrites are gonna start eating the ammonia, and then your nitrates are gonna come in to eat the nitrites. And that's all gonna happen just from adding fish food to your water. That typically will run about 6 to 8 weeks on average. I've never had it take longer than 8 weeks for that. So that's option 1. We're going to call it the old school method. Option 2, very similar to the old school method, just with 1 or 2 added twists. So same thing, set up the tank, get your filter in the water, get your gravel, your decor, all that good jazz. Then you're going to still put your food in the water, but you're also going to add some filter media that's already from an established tank. So you can go get it from a friend, you can get it from a pet store, you might be able to get it at a local club. Just ask anybody for used filter media. Ask them to take their sponge filter, wring it out into a bucket, get all that grimy, nasty looking brown stuff. Dump it in your tank. That's going to have already beneficial bacteria grown on it. So you're adding that into this first one we talked about, but you still need to add an ammonia source. You still need to add some type of food or other ammonia source to your tank. It takes about, I would say, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the filter media you have inside of your tank. Number 3, same thing. Tank's all set up, filtration's running. This one's going to be fish in cycle. What you're going to do with this one is throw your fish in the water, say a week after. You're going to be feeding your fish, the fish are going to be pooping. That's going to be the ammonia source, the fish food and the fish this time. With this one, you have to keep a very close eye on your fish tank. You don't ever want those ammonia levels to go above 0.5. If you can keep them at 0.25, even better. Now, I usually do fish in cycles. It typically takes me 4 weeks to 6 weeks to cycle a tank this way. So again, with fish in cycle, you have to keep a close eye on your water. You're going to be testing every other day, pretty much, either with a testing strip or testing kit. 0.5 parts per million is as high as I would let the ammonia go while you're cycling your tank. You're going to do water changes 50% every other day, every day if you have to. That's going to bring that ammonia back down to whatever half. So if you were 0.5, half water change, going to bring it to 0.25. If it's at 0.25, it's going to bring it down to some smaller decimal. That's just more manageable for the fish. So that's fish in cycle. The other option is to do no fish in the water. Get a pure ammonia source. So instead of using fish food or something of that nature, a pure ammonia source. You can get Fritz Fishless Fuel. That's a newer product I haven't had a chance to use, but that is one that I'm looking at. You can get ammonia from the drugstore. I've heard people use that too. You're just going to dose pure ammonia to the tank. That's going to do the same thing as adding fish food. But again, once the cycle is established, you do still need to add a food source until you get fish. And of course, you can always add products like the live nitrifying bacteria in a bottle. We got APA Quick Start, we've got C-Chem Stability, we've got Fritz Zyme 7. There's a bunch of nitrifying bacteria in a bottle. Those will all, of course, add to your bacteria in your tank and just speed up the cycle. They can be added to any of these methods we've talked about. So whichever route you take, it's going to cycle your tank the same way. It comes down to a personal preference. If you're new into the hobby, I would say pick any I would say either pick the first option of just using food, or option 2 where you're adding someone's cycled media already to your tank. I would not suggest a fish-in cycle for brand new people or pure ammonia for new people. So either for new people, option 1 or 2, been in the hobby for a while, 1, 2, or 3, and if you know what you're doing, pure ammonia source will be just fine. As always, thank you all so much for watching the video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what type of cycle you like to do for your tank.